Hi, everyone. It's Kathy Alessandra, the Yes, I Can coach, and I'm excited that you have joined us here today for the Yes, I Can Living podcast. This new podcast is here really meant everything life, love, health, wealth, and business. So we are covering the gamut. And if you haven't checked out our site yet, be sure to go to yesicanliving.com. Later this fall, we have our first print edition of the magazine coming out. So if you have not subscribed for that, be sure to get on that so you get the first edition mailed to you. But of course, we have great articles on our website as well. This podcast and our video show is really meant to get you and give you an opportunity to meet some amazing dynamic women who are writing for us, but who are also sharing their expertise and their brilliance with the world and really have something that they can do to support you. And so I'm really excited to bring on Elisa Ellis as one of our guests today. For close to a decade, Elisa has been transforming closets and the lives of women everywhere. Her impeccable sense of style is what sets her apart from her peers, and her clients can't get enough of her expertise. And I have to attest to that. I've been following her posts on Instagram and Facebook, and it's just so much fun, Elisa. I love, the outfits you're putting together, the accessories that you've got. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, she isn't interested in trends. She's incredibly passionate about helping her clients look and feel their very best. In every conceivable situation, even in the middle of COVID here. So it's not about the perfect look. It's really about feeling your best. So Elisa, welcome to the episode today. Excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with the business side of things, and then we'll go into the fun stuff. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about you and why you began this business?
So I'll just give you a little backstory. I was in corporate for 20 plus years. I was an event planner with Stanford University, and my family moved from small town Temecula to Westlake, and I suddenly couldn't do my corporate job anymore. I was traveling a week and a half. My husband traveled internationally, and I couldn't be away from my kids with no one to watch them. Like, we knew no one where we moved. So I'd been dabbling in Stella & Dot for a while. It was just my fun excuse to buy some Tory Burch bags and not feel guilty. And I started styling. A lot of my clients when I moved were life coaches, speakers, corporate women in corporate, and they would buy some big statement necklaces, and then they'd want to know, okay, how do I wear this? I'm only going to be on stage, once every so often. So what else can I do with this? So I would go and I'd help them style these pieces of jewelry with other outfits in their closet. And then I had quite a few friends who were going through divorce and needed to go back to work and didn't know what business professional was. Mm-hmm. And so they needed to know what that looked like. And not only that, but couldn't afford to spend, thousands of dollars on a new wardrobe. So I would help them put together 2 weeks worth of clothes. And maybe sometimes all they needed was a skirt or a pair of pants because they were used to wearing ripped jeans or Lululemons or, whatever that stay-at-home, cool, casual mom look is, and suddenly they had to find a different work wardrobe affordably. So somewhere in the middle of that, I decided I could turn that into a business, or that I should at least try. Mm-hmm. And so that's how Closet Confidence was born.
Love it. Awesome. Fantastic. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, I follow you on your social media channel. So I love to see the different looks and the outfits that you put together, and then helping women, really hone in on that so that they're not having to start from scratch with their closet, right? There's so many pieces that we already have, but maybe they don't fit quite right, or maybe we don't have that extra piece that goes with it. And so having somebody like you come in and be able to help with that can make all the difference. Save a ton of money.
Yes, I really believe that a lot of women have the tools already in the wardrobe. It's just a matter of learning how to put pieces together and, work with what you have. And maybe you need a pair of black slacks or one pair of jeans or, whatever it is. But more often than not, we have what we need in our closets, or maybe we just need a size that fits the body we have now instead of the body we had or want. Or was pre-COVID.
Right. Yes. For sure.
So, and not only that, but I like to show people that no matter what your size is, no matter what the scale says, you can still look and feel good. Sometimes we get into this funk that, oh, we're not whatever size it is or weight it is we want to be. And so suddenly we don't feel good about ourselves. And so we stop dressing. We stop dressing and showing up. And I think that if we show up every day, you're going to look good and feel good. You're going to just feel better overall, and it's going to change how you're showing up.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. You did a post not too long ago about the big baggy clothes. We are in the middle of, we're still experiencing COVID. There's the COVID-19
Right.
everybody talks about. And I've put some weight on and have been frustrated and really hadn't pulled things out of my closet and was, doing the baggy thing. And I had watched that video and I'm like, she's so right. And I've actually lost about, a little over 10 pounds anyway. So I had this bigger
Woohoo.
shirt, even the one I have today, but it's really long, when you were talking about the
Right.
waist and all that and the belt. And so I've taken the shirt and just tucked it in right in the front, like you showed, so that it,
Yay.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's doing those little things. So tell me about, I'm sure in this business you have experienced some challenges, some setbacks, some, obstacles to your growth. So what has been your biggest challenge and how did you overcome that?
If I'm honest, I will tell you my biggest challenge is imposter syndrome. Even though I have been working with clients for years and have friends who've told me, you're great at this, you always look great, you should show people, you should help people. And then I get a new client and it's like, oh, what am I, and suddenly that self-doubt creeps in. And so I really have to remind myself, I do know what I'm doing. And sure, there's always more that I can learn. It's really easy to say, oh, I have to take that course, or I have to read that book, or I have to do, put obstacles in my way before you take that first step. But really, I heard someone who said, if you know 10% more than the average person out there, then you're good, and I'm not saying that I know 10% more, but the reality is I've been doing it for a while and I do know. And I'm there to help, and I may not know everything, but I'm there to help you and guide you. And so I just have to do that positive self-talk. I know it sounds woo-woo, but that's what works for me.
Right. Well, it's all about,
Really.
yeah, it really is all about the mindset, right? It's not,
Right.
I totally get it with the imposter syndrome and the, there's the fake it till you make it and all that, right? But you're like the girlfriend who's going to tell me if my butt's too big in these jeans, right?
Right.
And then
Exactly.
taking the professional approach with what it is you're doing. And so really
Right.
embodying that, empowering ourselves to, there's always people ahead of us and there'll always be people behind us. And
Right.
so we can,
Yes.
learn and help.
But we have to be good with where we're at right now. And I'm always
Absolutely.
learning. I'm always, checking out new things. But yeah, we have to be kind to ourselves.
For sure. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about, in this time of when we're not going out a lot and, we're starting to kind of open back up. And so people are starting, I noticed even myself, the last month or so, I'm really dressing more for myself and, got these for those of you who are watching the video cast, these super fun earrings actually that I'd seen Elisa
Yeah.
use on one of her Facebook posts and I just had to have. And so, yeah, they're quite the talk of the town. I'm all about the sparkle, but let's talk about that. How can you right now, look and feel your best when you're not going out? Maybe you have put that weight on. What would you suggest in somebody dressing the part, really kind of stepping our game up a little bit? We've gotten lazy.
Yes, absolutely. It would be fabulous if how you weren't judged on how you look, but really the reality is we are, but this isn't about how other people judge us, but really how you feel about yourself. I like to say that sometimes I help people from the outside in. I have clients who are on a weight loss journey, and even though they haven't reached their goal weight, there's something about getting dressed and showing up every day that helps them feel better about themselves. And for me, I know that's a big thing. I'm not a person who stays in loungewear. I have workout wear and I use that to work out in, and I wear it to work out and then I take it off. I don't really have loungewear because I believe you should be showing up all the time. So even if it's just putting on a pair of shorts and a blouse, like I did today, but I have cute jewelry and throw on a necklace and I feel better about myself. So then I'm going to show up better, whether that's for my family, for my husband, for my clients, for me, really. And so I always tell people show up for yourself first. And, maybe you're a makeup person. then put on the makeup. Maybe you want to do your hair, do your hair. Maybe you don't do those things, but maybe you have a necklace you like. You know, every woman is different. And so it's a matter of showing up for yourself. It's kind of that self-love, self-care. You have to fill your cup first before you can fill everybody else's cup.
Right. Very true. You know, I like that even the makeup piece, you know, I always wear lipstick. Somebody said, do you still put lipstick on if you're going out, you know, I'm like, actually I do.
Yeah, I do.
You know, I mean, it's under the mask, but it's just part of the routine. I don't know, just part of the routine. Let's talk a minute about, you know, there are, I mean, you and I both, there's all kinds of Zoom meetings, you know, businesswomen, we are on, as much as we're not wanting to be on Zoom all the time, you know, it's kind of the fact of the way things are going. So any suggestions you have for how to, you know, you talked about a statement piece, you know, I've got these great earrings, but, you know, what about like that Zoom look? Any suggestions there?
Yes, I'm going to say try wearing a bright color, something that works for you and your skin tone. I will tell you, every Zoom call that I've had where I wore a bright color, kind of like the coral color you're wearing or blue, people have private messaged me saying, oh, you look great. You look fabulous. Mm-hmm. And even if it has nothing to do with my business, it's that people are noticing me. I'm clearly standing out. I would suggest getting a light. I mean, I know you have some light behind you, but I have a small ring light that was like $19, not even that, from Amazon. And the light makes a huge difference on your face, on how you feel, how you look on screen, simple things like that. And then if you are a jewelry person, put on jewelry. You know, if you're not comfortable, my thing is if you are comfortable and you feel good in something, then you're going to exude that confidence. But if you're putting something on and you're really not comfortable in it, and you're kind of, you know, itching or it doesn't feel right, then that's what you're going to exude. So if you like jewelry, put the jewelry on. If you like makeup, put your makeup on. I tell people you should be showing up on Zoom as if you were showing up in person, at least from the waist up.
Right.
You know, from the waist up. If you're not going to get up, then it's not an issue, but you need to show up just as if you were showing up in person.
And you never know when you might have to stand up for the Zoom. I
mean,
you know, I mean, I will say, I was a big wearer of my exercise, you know, yoga pants for a long time during this time period while we're on Zoom all the time. But I've switched over and I started wearing jeans and you know, just the whole look, right? The whole dress, because then I don't know. For me, it's always been, when I dress like that, I just feel more ready for work, right? I feel ready for business. I feel professional, and that's just the way it comes off in everything I do. So yeah, I love that.
And it can be really easy. You know, I have some clients that wear, let's say they're wearing a tank top or a t-shirt. Okay, go put on a cute cardigan or throw on a blazer. Or, you know, there's a lot of really affordable, easy things that you can do. You know, sure, you're walking around your house in your casual clothes, but there's a way to easily up that look and make it look more professional when you come online.
For sure, for sure. So let me ask you, do you think there is, or what would you say would be the one piece that everybody should have?
Oh,
I'm totally throwing this
one piece.
I know, right? Black pants. I've got 10 of those.
Okay. So I'm going to say a blazer or a cardigan. And I say one or the other because, you know, it's kind of like a slacks or a skirt. I know people who love slacks don't ever wear skirts, and vice versa. People who are a skirt person don't ever wear slacks. But, and I know people who would never wear a blazer, but I think throwing on a cardigan, just like I said, you can easily throw a cardigan on a dress to up look it. You can easily throw a cardigan over a t-shirt to make it look fancier, more professional. Same thing with a blazer. You know, a blazer might be too heavy for some people. It depends on your style, but you can easily throw that over a white t-shirt, a tank top, a cami, a shell, any blouse, a dress, and suddenly you're going to look more professional.
Right, right. Just takes it up a notch. Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about, touch back in business here a little bit. You know, as you've gone along in this and it's growing, you know, what would your current self want to tell your younger self? You know, what do you wish you had known stepping into this business that you would tell somebody else stepping into business now?
I would say believe in yourself, and you have to be willing to spend a little bit of money. And the reason I say that is because I tried to do it I'm not the cheap route. I mean, I'll just be, that's how, because you're cutting corners and you're doing things as inexpensively as possible. But in the end, what happened is I ended up having to redo things,
Mhm.
like my website, like my mail list, like, just those kind of basic things, my logo, and I wish I'd had a marketing person in the beginning, but because I told myself I really didn't have the money, I couldn't afford it, but I ended up spending more money in the long run. And
Mhm.
so having a marketing person and a company who really pulled that together for me, it was like the light bulb went on, the aha, and it was like, oh yeah. And then suddenly all the pieces kind of came together. And it's great now, but in the beginning it was like, oh, I wish I would just, I mean, I took a leap, but I kind of dipped my toe in. I didn't completely leap. And so I don't know, maybe find the right marketing person for you who's going to help you create your whole brand instead of piecemealing it together.
Right, right. I think that's an interesting point. I mean, even when I started my businesses 25 years ago, and just the taking it seriously aspect of it, right? And figuring out what the
Right.
brand is supposed to be, and getting yourself set up. There's some foundational pieces that really do need to get set so that you're solid from the beginning. Otherwise it's like swimming, pedaling backwards trying to get
Yes.
things set up. It can make it more difficult. Okay. What about
And part
six?
of it's evolving, and
Yes.
creating that brand. But
Hmm.
I just think it was so much clearer once I had a person who kind of, that's what their job was, to tell me, instead of me trying to do it all, there was someone who was saying, okay, look, these are all the pieces you need, and this is how it all connects. And if I just hired them in the beginning, it might have been a lot easier and a lot cheaper, less expensive.
Oh, the lessons we learned. Hindsight is always
Yeah,
2020, isn't it?
I know. I know.
Always, always. So let me ask you this. How do you define success?
How do I define a success? You know what? I have to say that I love what I do. I really enjoy, I come home from being with a client and it's excitement, and that's success to me. I made a difference in someone's life. And sure, the bottom line is important, but that's a goal that I'm always striving towards.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in a corporate job that I was happy at for a while. In the end, it was literally making me sick. And so that wasn't success. Sure, I was making, six figures. I had a great job, but it was making me sick, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So I left that and I tried something new. And while I'm not making the money I'm so much happier, and while I'm sure there's never going to be the perfect balance between life, work, family, all that, I'm so much happier now than I was before. And I'm not sick, which is amazing.
Right. Yeah, that that in itself, that's a huge success,
Yes,
right? Feeling
yes,
good about what you're doing.
yes.
Awesome, great. Let's jump into the funness of fashion for one more second before I ask you that final question. So, getting out and kind of having some fun with it. I know, and I'd love for you to share too in a minute where people can follow you, because I love your photos, and you started doing the videos again too. So people can
Yes.
really see what you're all about. But being bold in your fashion, I mean, I realize some people are very subdued, some are like way out there. What are your thoughts in how you show up, and what you're willing to do and how you should do it, and how you get comfortable, really being comfortable in those clothes, being comfortable in that skin,
Right.
being comfortable being you is really what it comes down to. Your
Yes.
thoughts.
And, that for me was a little bit of a process. I had to figure out what worked for me and my body. And, as we get older, your body changes. I'm 50, and I will have to tell you, most of my clients are over 45, not all of them, but, menopause is a real thing and our bodies change during that time. And so what I like to do is I help people find their style. There's some people that are boho, some people that are preppy, some that are classic, and you just have to find what works for you. But having said that, you have to be willing to try new things, because I've had clients who were really wearing things that were way too big. I've had several clients who were wearing a medium or a large, and really they're an extra small or a small petite.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because we see ourselves bigger than we actually are.
Mhm.
And we are trying to hide, a lot of women, not all these things. We don't like our arms, we don't like our legs, we don't like our stomach. And so in trying to hide all of these things, we lose really how we show up and feeling beautiful and confident. And
Mhm.
instead we wear black to try and be slimmer. And but we somehow, it gets lost, the style gets lost in that, because we're trying to hide all these things that we're not happy with. So I remind women that their arms hug their loved ones, their legs carry them every day, their bodies nourish them and keep them strong. And so to be proud of it, whether you have a small bust line, a large bust line, a big booty, a small booty, and
Mhm.
trying to take what you're gifted with and really show it off. You could be a small petite. And so, embrace that and wear things that show off your figure. My ideal thing is trying to help women feel comfortable with where they're at now, not where they want to be, not where they were 20 years ago, but where they are now, and to love your body and be excited about it and feel confident in it, whether that's wearing a button-down shirt and a blazer, or a pair of jeans and a t-shirt with some cute earrings. You just kind of have to find what works for you and own it. I don't necessarily believe in trends, because trends come and go. So
Mhm.
if jeans and a t-shirt is what you feel beautiful in, then wear that. If you like wearing blazers and suits, wear that. Wear what makes you feel comfortable and confident, because
Mhm.
that's what you're going to exude.
Right. And shine. Yeah, I love that. I really, the color, and I mean, I've always been. We've known each other a while, but probably not a long time. I mean, I'm a bling. Anything that sparkles,
Right.
I will get it. Right. I've got gold sequin shoes. I've got big sequin earrings. Right. I'm all about that. And it's funny. Some people are like, oh yeah. I mean, they know me that way, and that's okay.
Right.
But it's getting comfortable. Putting on the earrings and wearing them out. Or, I remember when I wore those gold sequin shoes. They're tennis shoes actually, and I had broken my knee and I needed to be in flats and I was going to be on stage. So I thought, what better place to wear these gold sequin
Yeah,
shoes, right? I mean, they were the talk of all
that's
the,
great.
but getting comfortable. I mean, I think that really speaks your confidence, and
Yes,
yeah, that's what they're
absolutely.
all about, working with confidence.
Yes.
So speaking of confidence, what makes you a yes I can woman?
Oh, because I left my corporate job of after 20 years and said, I'm going to do something new. And I don't care what people think.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, part of this is I'm doing my own thing, and people may not agree with me. Like I said, there's a lot of people, if you read the news, they'll tell you, oh, these are the trends you should be buying. If you're over 50, these are the things you should be buying. I don't believe that. I think you need to find what works for you and do you
Mm-hmm.
and shine. And that's why I think I'm a yes, I can, because I want you to feel good doing who you are, not being anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love
So I'm
it.
going to be me.
You definitely embody the yes I can spirit. So I want people to be able to find you on Instagram or Facebook, because I mean, like I said, it's been quite an inspiration for me, particularly as we're coming out of this COVID and inside and all. So how can people find you? Where would be the best place for them to go? Please share it all.
So I am on Instagram at stylish curvy girl, and Facebook, it's the same thing, at stylish curvy girl. My website is closet-confidence.com, and I'm on YouTube as well, where I post my tips and tricks and helpful hints, and that's also Closet Confidence.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, I hope our listeners and our watchers connect with you, because I think they will find you just as inspiring as I have. And oh gosh, I've bought jewelry, I've bought shirts. I mean, because it really is, following somebody else and seeing what they do and how they pull it off, and the confidence, it can give us the, that little spark or that spunk to be able to do it ourselves too. And
Well, and I
I
hope that
follow
it's
you.
inspirational, because
Yes,
I find
very.
other things that are inspirational. It's just about taking little pieces every day and trying something new.
It is. It is. Get out of our own head and try something new. I love it.
Yes.
Well, Elisa, thank you so much for joining us today. As I think I mentioned in the beginning of this call, so Lisa is going to be one of our bloggers for the Yes I Can Living website and the magazine. So be sure to check out her articles there, all the places where she's told you that you can find her as well. And we're very excited to have her on board. And I really do hope that you connect with her, because I really think you'll find her style, her fashion tips, her fun, very inspiring for you. So anyway, again, be sure you visit us over at Yes I Can Living. Stay tuned for our next podcast. And we look forward to connecting with you online or in person, we hope, very soon. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.